I am. I know.
Just from the drive.
I know, like all the history of this is going in the grave. What is it? Like something, a family that everybody, had all our pictures in. I know. We went to Daniel, and we took this picture, and he used it to use the keychain with it. This was the first time we left the kids alone upstairs. I bought them a Disney movie. I said, stay upstairs. Alice has been paid to leave the room. They got locked out. I'm sitting eating dinner, and I hear this, look at those cute little girls in the pajamas. And I was, so they're perfect.
He's probably sitting up there going,
Oh,
like,
no.
oh, God damn it. Oh, that's too funny. My dad, no? Really?
Yeah. Real big.
I have my own cleaning business. And that's my daughter in there. She's 13.
No, I was telling
Erica's her name.
those guys about how we used to ride that bicycle down in Howardsport with the wheels.
With his dad this weekend. 9 going to 10 soon.
Because people could still like come in. Yeah, we're gonna go over to the chapel. Whoever wants to. Yeah, Dad would be like, hurry up and get the shovel. All right.
No, he would have been walking around with a cigarette. He wouldn't have been standing here. He would have been checking out for
Allison.
Hey everyone, we're gonna start the service. There we go.
To Eliza, his beloved wife, to Allison and Kate, their beloved daughters, and to his friends, family members, and companions, and all those who have gathered here this afternoon to remember a good and decent man. Ronald welcomes you, and welcomes you with love and with light. We're here basically for 3 purposes. First, to commit his earthly remains back to our blessed Mother Earth, so that as his remains become part of this great planet, he also becomes part of the planet and gives back to our Blessed Mother all that she has given him, an opportunity to come to this wonderful place in order to experience another leg of our spiritual journey. A journey from which all of us came, and a journey to which all of us are going to return. A state of oneness, peace, tranquility, and first and foremost and above all else, a place of love. We're also here to remember a good man, to celebrate his life, his legacy. You all have memories of him. There are 2 dates on the stone that commemorates his earthly life. One date commemorates the time in which he came onto this earthly plane, and the other date commemorates the time in which he departed from this wonderful planet. Those 2 dates are very important. We celebrate one of them every year as our birthdays, and following the death of most of us, we celebrate or we commemorate or we remember, perhaps on a yearly basis, the date in which our loved ones step across that great doorway that we know as life. 2 dates. But what is of greater significance than either of those two dates is what takes place between them. That little marker that distinguishes the time of birth and the time of death. And that's really why we're here, to celebrate and to remember all the good things that Ronald did, the experiences, the love, the life, the memories that you all have of this man, most of which I surmise are pleasant, exciting, and full of enthusiasm. And it's that we are here to celebrate and to remember on this beautiful day. But we're also here, and I feel perhaps even most significant, is to bid him adieu, because he's on the road again. And this time his journey he takes by himself, not with his wife, not with his children, but a journey that leads him to a place where he will be confronted with amazing revelations, a place where he will be able to expand and manifest his glory in a way that perhaps he was not able to do while here on the earthly plane. Imagine what he must be experiencing right now, right at this moment, as he stands with us, watching all of you with love and light, and trying in whatever way he can to let you know, yes, I suffered from a disease that took my body, but I am alive. I am the same person that all of you knew and loved and will continue to know and love. His earthly remains may be there, but his life, his legacy, his journey resides within the hearts of all of you. And that is how he connects with all of you, with that sense of love and peace. A doorway that we will all pass through at some point or another. A doorway which does not mark the end of one's life, but simply the closure of a chapter in our journey back to our Creator. A chapter that opens up into a new chapter of life in which we continue our journey. So he is here with us. The love that he has for all of you is something that will remain with you until the time that you step across that doorway as well. And I surmise, from what I understand of this good man, he will be there to greet each and every one of you. And it'll be time of great reunion and rejoicing. So even though there is the pain of grief, even though there is the pain of loss, of separation, even though we may each be hurting in whatever way we feel that pain as he steps out of our physical sight, out of our physical experience, this is, in the midst of all of that, really is a time of celebration. Celebrating the reality that, number one, he is alive, and number two, he continues in a world that will bring him closer to all of you in some ways, and closer to our beloved Creator. To his wife, to his daughters, never let go of the memories. Never let go of the pain that you are feeling right now. Because every tear that you shed, every tear that any one of you may shed at the loss of this good man is like a greeting card. A greeting card that says to him, I still love you. I remember you. So do not wipe away your tears. Let them flow. Do not try to erase whatever memories, good and perhaps not so good. Just remember one thing. Your beloved husband, your beloved father, your beloved friends, he's on the road again. And what a journey it must be. And it's a journey that I can guarantee, and there's not much that I can guarantee in this life, but it is a journey that I can guarantee we will all take. And once you cross that doorway, if you want to hop on your motorcycle once again, you can do so. If you want to hop into your RV once again, you can do so. If you want to walk on your legs, you can do so. There is limitless opportunity for us to grow, to unravel the love that is within each of us, and perhaps to see one another in a way that we did not see one another while we were here together. Because when we do step across the doorway, when Ronald stepped across that doorway, he shed himself not only of a cancerous condition, but he shed himself of one set of eyes, and in so doing, his soul awakened. And his soul is what he wants to share with you in any way that he can. And that's the beauty. Despite the grief, despite the loss, despite the tears, that's the beauty of death. It's just a birth. So those two dates on that stone represent simply a passage from one chapter to another, to another, until finally, we strip away all that seems to divide us. And we're all so much aware of the divisiveness that we see around us. And the beauty of the journey is to get us to a place where we strip away all that divisiveness and see that which unites us all, regardless of what type of body we may be in at this point in our journey. We will all see that which unites us as brothers and sisters, and that is the Spirit. The Spirit that resides within each of you. The Spirit that resides within myself. The Spirit that resides within the trees and the grass and the rocks and the animals. It's that Spirit that we must, while we are here, try to manifest and endeavor to see in one another. So even though we may be in different forms, even though we may believe in different ways, even though we may be on different pathways, even though each of us is on that road, we're really on the same journey. And it is my hope and my prayer that whatever goodness this man was able to bring forth in his life of service and love and light, never forget that. And let that be a light that will inspire you in every step that you take. I'd like to read the prayer of St. Francis. Listen to the words carefully and see what each one of us, all of us, individually and collectively as a human family, can do whenever we are given the opportunity to bring these words alive. Lord, make me an instrument of your peace. Where there is hatred, let me sow love. Where there is injury, pardon. Where there is doubt, faith. Where there is despair, and there is so much of it today, hope. Where there is darkness, light. And always remember, the light will always overcome the darkness. Where there is sadness at the loss of a loved one or the departure of a loved one, let there be joy. O Divine Master, grant that I may not so much seek to be consoled as to console, to be understood as to understand, to be loved as to love. For it is in giving that we receive. It is in pardoning that we are pardoned. And listen to this. It is in dying that we are born to eternal life. What St. Francis in this prayer asks us to do is to be active. To take hold of the spirit that is within us, the love that is within us, and give it forth. Where there is darkness, let the light of your soul shine forth. Shadow. Darkness. Why is that shadow cast? Because of the light. Why is that shadow cast? Because I have turned away from the light and I focus on the shadow. So to transform darkness into light, shadows into light, what do we need to do? Turn around and face the light. Thank you to Eliza, your love. Over the months, I have had the pleasure and the honor of sharing in worship and communion and community with you. You know he loves you. And you know that everything in his soul is a part of your soul. And to his daughters, Dad loves you. Always will. And trust me, when the time comes, each of you will step across that doorway. He will be there. And he will say, let's get on that road again. I've got a lot to show. Thank you all for joining us. If you would like to say anything, drop your remembrances, this would be the time to do so. And Eliza has asked me to invite you all to the church for a spiritual temple. We're at 55 Main Street on Route 28 in West Harwich. We'll have coffee, tea, and some healthy, individually wrapped. How the times have changed. There's one good thing he doesn't have to do anymore, is this. So please, if anyone wishes to share, this would be the time to do so. Thank you so much, and God bless. shy.
I'd like to read through our Father, and the Serenity Prayer. You guys want to join me? Our Father, who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name.
Thy kingdom come, thy will be done, on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread. Forgive us our sins.
Forgive those who trespass against us.
Lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil.
Thine is the kingdom, and the power, and the glory forever. Amen. Reading Serenity Prayer that meant so much to us. God, grant me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change, the courage to change the things I can, and wisdom to feel the difference. Amen.
Well,
He would have been walking around by now. Yeah. Smoking a cigarette. He would have been checking on the bird feeder over there.
Probably is.
Thank you. You did a beautiful job. Thank you very much. Beautiful.
Ronnie, a longtime friend. One thing I can remember about Ronnie is he would go from Howard to Centerville and pick up a guy and take him to a meeting in Orleans and then bring him back home again. That's just who he was, and that's just the kind of guy that I always keep in my heart. God bless you, brother.
little hold hands. I know it's considered.
We'll have sanitizer back at the temple.
We do. Blessed Father, source of all life and light, we thank you for the life of Ronald Kendall. We thank you for bringing him into our hearts and into our lives. And we know that you welcome him in all the goodness and the glory that you instill within creation. We remember him and we honor him on this day. And we know that through the love of your heart and the mercy of your grace, he will flourish and fly and be at peace and still remain one with his family and with his friends. Thank you for bringing us together to celebrate the life of one of your children as we celebrate the lives of all of us. Amen. Amen.
Roz used to say to me all the time, God hates a coward. That was his favorite line.
Use a shovel.
Shows I'm capable of doing this.
Is that one of the ones from the shed?
Probably.
No.
That looks too nice.
One of the 42.
It actually has a handle.
Yeah, he had a
It's
bit
not
of
rusty.
a
That can't be his.
A bit of a hoarding problem. Anyone else? That was a deacon.
Right?
Yeah, you're not at work.
My little wimpy one. Oh, that's genius.
There, I got
I'm doing one for her, one for me.
Don't push me in, you guys.
I don't think you could. I don't know if you can get out. I was waiting for that. I wasn't gonna say it. I'm glad it wasn't just me. Oh yeah. Got you. You're welcome.